take one and all. Susmeravadano Vetam Darshakanandadayinam Samskara Punaruddhara Pratijna Buddha Purusham Arya Vaidya Pharma Karma Sapyadeham Atmana Naumi Vaidyam Iya Krishna Kumarakam. Coming from nanotechnology to biotechnology, I am here to present few of my thoughts into the medicinal plant tissue culture and its Ayurvedic perspective. It's not a report of the study, but it's like a concept paper. Ayurveda is surrounded by the modern technologies. Few of the Ayurvedic practitioners are trying to adapt, and all of the technologies are trying to exploit Ayurveda. Now, the classical Ayurvedic practitioners, the Vaidyas and Acharyas, always try to look into the surroundings and subjects and sciences and try to explain in their manner, in their vision. But now, adapting to the classical text and the reading and being in that narrow framework is being followed by the Vaidyas and not understanding the Ayurvedic principles and trying to peep into the Ayurveda field is what done by the technologists. So what I would like to do is explain the plant tissue culture in terms of Ayurvedic principles. Here, medicine is one among the 4 factors of treatment in Ayurveda. We have seen lots of papers and studies where the importance of the medicinal plants are being, we are trying to explain it into scientific manner. And there are lots of studies happening where the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of the medicinal plant are being tested and proved that okay, this plant is going to cure cancer. Then, when looking to the availability of the plant, sometimes it may not be possible if you are doing 5 years or 10 years of research to prove something which is already there in the text, to prove that it is with evidence. Then you look into the environment, whether the plant is available or not. Then most of the time you will be unfortunate that the plants will not be there in sufficient quantity. So, in the Charaka Sutra, long before, he has said that availability of plenty of high quality medicinal plants as raw materials is mandatory for success of treatment through Ayurveda. So here, I have tried to clear the 4 parts of the treatment, that is Vaidya, Dravya, Paricharaka and Rogi, and also 4 factors of the medicinal plants, that is Bahutva, Yogyatvam, Kalpana and Sampat. Now the present era's environmental destruction threaten Ayurvedic pharmaceutical industry by affecting the available quantity of good quality medicinal plants, leading to Dravya Abhava. Biotechnology technique of medicinal plant tissue culture is relevant for saving numerous endangered medicinal plants from extinction and also to secure their availability to Ayurvedic industry. The fundamentals of medicinal plant tissue culture are explained along with Ayurvedic principles, which will shed light on suitability and safety of tissue cultured medicinal plants in Ayurvedic medicines. Why? For the biotechnologist, plant tissue culture is well known. But for the people who are not into that field, may not be so much familiar what is happening in the tissue culture. So, ensuring the availability of medicinal plant species is as equally important as unraveling the pharmacokinetics and dynamics of herbal drugs. Most of the time, the present era's Ayurvedic and science intervention, most of the Vaidyas and scientists are more interested in the pharmacokinetics and dynamics. But what I feel is, proving already proved subject is okay, you can do that, but you have to save the plants so that after we prove the plants are available. So proper understanding and awareness about the specific requirements of Ayurvedic industry is still lacking in the modern plant biotechnology literature. Ayurvedic curriculum as such don't contain the concepts and methods of modern agronomy and biotechnology, which is a recent development in history of science, due to which Ayurvedic practitioners and patients may be skeptical about the use of biotechnologically produced medicinal plants in future. You should know the terms like Dravya Abhava, literally meaning the absence of drug materials. Once one to be prepared for situations where principal drugs of the Ayurvedic formula is in shortage due to season, locality barrier, high demand for a specific drug at certain time period. Abhava Pratinidhavya is the one where drug is substituted. Classical Ayurvedic texts have sanctioned the use of properly tested substitute drugs in case of shortage for a principal ingredient in a medicine formula. Ayurveda in principle requires the whole plant and plant parts to be substituted, which is a major difference to modern pharmaceutical practice where only single compounds derived from plants are used. Medicinal plant tissue culture can serve Ayurveda provided it fulfills the above major criteria along with safety. Now I am trying to explain the science behind plant tissue culture in Ayurvedic terms. The phenomena called totipotency, where natural ability of plant cells to grow into full-fledged organism, which can be correlated to the Sukshma Shariratva. That's so the cell is called Sukshma Sharira. The capacity is the property of the Sukshma Sharira. The presence of intact chromosomal DNA, chloroplast, plasmidal DNA, and cytoplasm, even that of a differentiated plant cell, ensures the capacity to differentiate, de-differentiate, and form meristematic cells. This closely resembles the Jnanamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha of a living being described in Ayurveda. Knowledge of suitable microcondition for totipotency of plant cell or tissue where it is supplied with all essential nutrients such as minerals, water, light source, carbon source and air is the biotechnology which roughly corresponds to the Ayurvedic concept of Annamaya Kosha, a sheath of food in living being. So, PTC is based on the understanding of plants' growth requirements through earlier plant physiological studies, and it directly is the result of last 110 years research which had begun with Haberland in 1902. In 1957, the use of auxins and cytokinins have been understood, and in Veda, Yajurveda, Dhruva Sukta, Kanda Prarohanti, a sentence is there that plant can produce itself from the stem, vegetative propagation. Now, I would like to show some of the figures where we use the seed of a healthy medicinal plant to start our tissue culture, then it undergoes different stages of the natural growth, and we can produce directly roots and shoots through the technology. Here is a small indigenously developed bioreactor for the development of the roots. Now, Ayurveda stresses for the acceptance of classically undocumented substances after proper documentation. The use of undocumented plant species and substances for medicinal purpose is explained by the concept of Anukta Dravya Grahana Vichara. Ayurvedic classical text describes principles of Ayurveda suitable for this situation. The elaborate field of science of substance qualities is Dravya Guna Vijnana. There is a classical method in Dravya Guna which can be broadly translated as experimental determination of properties of a drug, namely Rasa Nirdharana. Thus, suitability of tissue culture plants as Ayurvedic drug ingredients. Tissue culture plants are genetically same plants as the mother plant. Ayurveda allows substitution with plants which are from different botanical families or genus. Tissue culture plants are not to be confused with genetically modified plants. Several phytochemical and physiological studies have shown that tissue culture plants bears the same properties as that of mother plant.
So the concept what you wanted to convey could have been put, must be all of it, I would say, in 3 slides. Like, people are familiar with tissue culture and we understand it's genetically, there's no modifications. Tissue culture means it's the same. But then in terms of presentation, your enthusiasm is great. But to put in that if you could have, all what you conveyed could have been the presentation could have been much more, and you could have added on some more details of what are the tissue culture medicinal plants in the market or groups doing it. Some more information on that would have been more value addition. This is more like reading something which we know. Sort of, that was what I felt.
I want to make a comment on Sukshma Sharira. The Sukshma Sharira is the subtle one. stem cells, or totipotent cells, they have candidates to be either shukra or in the human body, ojas. Okay? The Sukshma Sharira departs the body at death. The actual life force, what's it called, is the supple body, and it has very supple biophysical structure which can be elucidated. It's not the totipotent cells. Now that's a couple of technical points. Okay, you need to discuss those very carefully.
I have one point. You've taken this concept of, you've tried to compare principles of Shari which are applied to humans. And in Ayurveda, when we say Sharira, it is the Panchamahamut plus Atma. That is what makes something live. And you've kind of extrapolated it to plants. Do you think that's the right approach? All your I
am basically a biotechnologist. I am not from Ayurvedic so I came here to support Ayurveda through my knowledge. But practically what last 1 year I faced is, whenever we say start, I am doing biotechnology research in Ayurveda, or I am producing tissue culture plants, all of the Vaidyas, all of the patients will suddenly ask, genetic, they will not, now madam said that it is understood, but it is not in practice, it is not understood. All are skeptical about this technique. Like, because of the genetically modified plants are arriving in the market, that affects the tissue culture plants also. So I want to clear things that tissue culture plants are some other technique, and genetically modification is something else. So, and literature is not available. Literature is not available. We read from the common sources of knowledge. So most of us are not thorough what is happening. So I try to study the Ayurvedic principles. And first, the main principle is abhava. That is, whenever the wild plants are not available, then we are trying to produce.
No, the concept of what you're thinking, or that is really needed. Yes, it's not going to be available for long. We need to have a backup. We cannot lose the wild species. And the other person presented on a much lower or superior quality, and the other one, the two species, the antibacterial infection. So that's happening in the market, and that's one part of it. And the other, certain things are getting extinct, so we need to see. But I think this is a good start,
yes,
but
yes.
still it could have been presented with little more presentation-wise. And again, must be you should start thinking on which are the real ones. You could have given some more examples of these are not. We need to start work on this. Some
I
sort of
wanted to give you
thought process.
more thrust on the theoretical understanding of this concept than the market. I mean, going to the market because that data and all is well available. What is not there, what is substituted, what is adulterated.
What is the theoretical you want to put up?
I want to understand this tissue culture concept in Ayurvedic way. So this is starting point for the Vaidyas. So that now Sir has said that Sukshma Sharira is something else. Because I am a biotechnologist, I understand directly when we read the text, oh, this can be correlated. Now, if he is not, like he is telling that it's not Sukshma Sharira, then we have to see what is that, what is a cell, how a cell can be defined, the potency of a cell and totipotency in Ayurvedic terms. So I wanted this kind of thought should be generated, right? In case of nanotechnology also, in case of genetically modified plants also, Ayurvedic concepts should be able to explain the modern technology so that it can be adopted or avoided.
Thank you very much. Thank you.